I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly. It's January 18th, 2017, and we're live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio with Jim Sinicropi, Josh Durso, and Jessamy Uticone.
Live.
Hi.
How you
Here
doing,
we
guys?
Are coming at you live.
Coming at you at lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a nice long weekend? Did you enjoy your Martin Luther King Day weekend, or did you have to work?
Oh, we were all here. I was.
The
Josh
news doesn't
wasn't.
stop, does it?
I was not.
Josh was not here.
I was not.
Our lead news editor was not here.
He was not here. He was out in the community doing news-related things, out in the wild,
Making news.
That
making
counts.
news happen.
Like that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he
Ooh.
makes his own news by creating tragedies and then
The-
reporting on them.
I haven't seen
Nightcrawler.
that one.
Yeah, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, one of my
Oh.
favorite movies.
Really?
You've modeled your life after.
Of course
it.
it
Yes.
would be, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
No, it's just it's great to work for the government, you know.
Yeah.
You get all these days
Yes.
off. I mean, I'm a big fan of Martin Luther King Jr.
Sure.
Yes.
But geez,
The
whatever.
most inconvenient part is that the banks also close.
It's a
If
bank
banks
holiday.
didn't close, people wouldn't notice it as much because if your town office isn't open, nobody really cares. But the
Just
bank,
like it's
people
You
care
have to
about the
prepare
bank.
for that.
Yeah, but
after
like
a
the
weekend.
county government example, counties employ hundreds of people.
Yep.
And so the loss to the taxpayer for one day off shutting down is
Yep.
significant. So I don't know, just willy-nilly throwing days off.
It's also, I think, if there's a like DPW, if Public Works had some sort of, like, if there were a snowstorm or something, I think they'd get paid overtime or holiday
Right.
pay.
They end up getting hazard pay.
So,
or
I
something
mean,
like that.
Good Lord.
Ooh, yeah. that's-
Private
really hurts us
sectors,
taxpayers.
private sectors and public sectors are a nice place to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the kids had off from school, so we had a nice long weekend. That's the nice part about it.
Yeah. Well, I know it's tough being a teacher because they just had an extended Christmas break, and then they had to go back
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
2 weeks, and then a 3-day weekend, and it's going to be like another 3 or 4 weeks till they have another whole week off.
whole
I
week, yeah.
know.
But-
I know.
And
It's
then
tough.
after that,
And
it's
then
a
you-
long grind until like Easter break,
Spring
and then
break, right.
you know the summer.
Break,
So
and then they had
Right.
those months off in summer to spell them.
Yes.
President's Week, is that what
That's
that one
the
in
February
February
one,
is
yeah.
for?
Yep.
to honor our president's birthdays, which fall somewhat in line in February. Lincoln
Yeah.
and Washington, someone else.
Really indiscriminately chosen. Should honor more presidents if
Well-
we're going to.
Ronald
One a week.
It
Reagan,
is interesting.
Reagan's
though, how that-
birthday's on February 6th.
There you
There
go.
we go.
My mom's birthday's the 5th.
Every president's birthday should constitute a week off.
I like.
Now we're
I like that.
talking.
I wonder what weeks would be left in the
And
calendar.
people would start electing presidents based on their birthday week to fill in
Right.
gaps,
We
which
left that week up.
might result in better quality candidates.
Maybe.
Well then, on that note, shall we take a look at our top local photos this week?
That's all we can do.
We shall. We shall.
All right.
Some good pictures came in this week.
Yes.
Lots of them.
Yes. We received a bunch of great local photos this week, so let's get started. We've been enjoying a January thaw over the past several days, and it kind of even looks like early spring in this photo taken at Robert H. Treeman State Park in Ithaca by Chris Ray.
That's a good one, and it's
That's gorgeous.
it's taller than it is wide. So on our video screen, we're not able to show
Right.
the full splendor. But if you go to our photo gallery, you can see the entire thing from top to bottom. It's a nice one. Probably there's some really good ones this week. So I'm not going to say it's my favorite of the week, but it's up there.
It's up
It's a
there.
nominee for pick of the week.
It's a good start, that's for darn sure. Well, here's a cool shot from Justin Shaw as the Finger Lakes Railway train heads home from Solvay and accelerates out of Waterloo, heading
that.
back to Geneva
A
on
long
Wednesday
exposure.
evening.
I don't see a
Yes.
train, just the lights.
You see the lights from the train.
Yes.
And the lights from the guardrails.
Yes, going
which
down.
that's the coolest part to me. Look at that.
What a
That
clever
is a
guy.
sweet picture.
I wonder how long though.
Well, for those gates to go down, it takes at least 5-6 seconds, right?
Sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice
very cool.
shot. A rainy day in the Finger Lakes gave way to clearing skies in the evening
America.
last Thursday. This shot was taken along the north shores of Seneca Lake by our very own Josh Durso.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's the sound that gets made whenever Josh's name is mentioned on the show. He's a rising star.
Nice shot, Josh.
Nice job, buddy.
Thank you.
Great.
So modest.
The moon slips beyond the western hills over beautiful Keuka Lake early Friday morning in this photo by Nancy L. Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Love it.
From Rachel Burkholder in Seneca Falls on Thursday evening, with a lack of color this time of year and lots of rain, the fog added a nice touch to our dreary weather.
That is dreary weather.
It sure is.
If it wasn't for fog, boy, that would be not salvageable.
She came up with some great fog pictures this week.
Like the next one we're probably going to see, right?
Yes, another from Rachel on Thursday night. The grain bins at Lot Farms in Seneca Falls were surrounded by fog as the last bit of color tints the western sky along Route 414.
That's a nice way to describe
Oh
it.
my
Sure.
gosh, so
Grain
cool.
bins.
Yep.
That's a beautiful shot.
It's the most beautiful picture of grain bins I've ever seen.
Yes, I'd have to agree with that, Jessamy. All right, Sally Mannion captured Friday morning's mid-January sunrise over Seneca Lake as seen from White's Point in Geneva.
That's awesome.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The best part is in the back where the sun streaks through the clouds at certain points there, way in the background, and that's a nice one. Who shot it better, Seneca Lake, Durso or Mannion?
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
We'll put a Twitter poll up.
Yeah. Well, there's so much depth to that picture. It's really cool. Shot down on the lake. It's beautiful. All right, this is something different. William Heck sent in this photo of a barge that is immobile, frozen in the iced-over waters on the north end of Cayuga Lake, as seen from Cayuga Lake State Park in Seneca Falls on Sunday.
You guys hear about this?
I like that.
That's
No.
cool.
That's a big barge, and it's not going anywhere
No.
till spring.
Yeah. Till it
It's-
can, right?
I actually haven't got an update on whether it's still there or not, but I assume it is. But the weather has got a little warmer. Maybe the ice broke up enough so it could get out, but it is frozen
Oh, my goodness.
in place.
Brr. Poor barge.
Yes.
The Minders Middle School Drama Club presented a super groovy night's dream in the Douglas Avery Performing Arts Center over the weekend. This photo from Karen Bartow shows a scene from the play with many of the cast members.
Look at that.
Nothing like going to see a live
It's your nephew right there.
play.
Yes, my nephew
Oh,
was in
really?
the show, and
See him.
I was not able to attend due to conflicts, but it was well received.
Oh, good.
Critically acclaimed.
That's wonderful.
Look at him.
I know. That's great. Great
But it's
shot.
funny. I know most of the kids in that picture, and they don't seem like they should be old enough to pull something like this off yet. They're all, time flies, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. It's scary. It really is. All right. Next, a pair from Chris Trine taken at Sodus Bay. The bay was full of ice fishermen that were taking advantage of the weather to get out on the ice on Saturday. That's quite a shot.
Here they go.
I don't get ice fishing.
You don't understand?
Well, I understand. I just don't. To me, that's not a great way to spend the day.
I
Yeah.
don't like being cold, and I don't.
Well, I think
Yeah.
they stay warm. They dress warm, and they have like heaters inside their ice fishing tents. I assume. I don't know, but
How
at that.
thick? How thick does
very
the ice
scary.
have to be?
Thick. Look at all the augers in that picture.
I mean,
Some on the ground. Boring holes through the ice, Josh.
People are very passionate about it, though.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's
It's great.
if you can find pastimes in the winter like that
Yep.
you enjoy, then God bless you.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
All right. Duck hunters at Sodus Point carried their John boat from the Lake Ontario shoreline for launching on Saturday morning. This was the other photo from
That's
Chris
nice.
Trine.
I like
This is
that
my
one.
favorite one of the week. I think.
Yeah, it's
That's
nice.
beautiful.
I think this even trumps Rachel's grain bin fog
Oh, boy.
photo. I just, I don't know. It's cool. They're heading
It
out.
really is.
That's a good shot.
I don't see any
Yeah.
ducks though.
It looks like a book cover.
They're
or
going
something.
hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Scared them
neat.
all away.
They'll find the ducks. You leave that to them.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, from Jim Miranda, over 100 residents from surrounding counties participated in the annual Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Day March held in Newark on Monday. The walk started at Park Presbyterian Church in Newark and went through the village main streets.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's
There were
great.
lots of those on Monday. There were one in Geneva, one in Canandaigua, that one in Newark.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I believe there was one in Auburn too.
It's the season
Yep.
for marches.
That it is.
That is a day that inspires marches more than any other day of the year.
You
Yeah.
would think it would be in March, but January. January's it.
Marching in March might be difficult.
Well, great photos, everyone. Thank you for sending them in. And if you'd like to share your local photos from across the region, click the Submit Content section at the bottom right side of our page at fingerlakes1.com. Josh, fill us in on what's going on in the news.
Okay, so we're going to do this backwards. I had these written out in one order, and I'm just going to totally flip the script
Flip
and do them
it.
backwards.
Flip it.
Okay.
Get wild.
Governor Cuomo announced this week funding for drinking water infrastructure projects, $662.9 million in grants and interest-free low-cost loans will support water infrastructure development. This was spurred by the issues this past summer and fall at Owasco Lake. Auburn and Owasco both had serious drinking water issues, not that it impacted everyone. There were no boiling water alerts or anything like that for them, but they had trace levels of the blue-green algae inside the drinking water facilities, and this Cuomo actually cited that as being a reason why this funding is happening.
Sure.
So the money is going to be there, and now they outlined a ton of projects, obviously for over halfway to $1 billion.
Right.
A lot of projects are going to get it work done, and maybe better policing of this issue, because like on Seneca Lake, Canandaigua Lake, Honeoye, the entire Finger Lakes has been battling this issue, and it doesn't really seem to be getting fixed.
Half a
good.
billion dollars
That's what I
should
was
do it.
Yeah,
half a
that's a
billion at
good
it.
chunk of, a Cayuga County EMT was assaulted in an ambulance. So here's the weird story of the week. Troopers say an EMT in Cayuga County needed medical attention after a Moravia man choked him while being transported to a hospital. Christopher Davis of Moravia was charged with second-degree felony assault after EMTs responded to a bar fight. He needed treatment. They loaded him into the ambulance. He was good, and then all of a sudden, he freaked, apparently.
Oh, boy.
Choked the attending EMT in the back of the ambulance. It was quite a time getting him to the Cortland Regional Medical Center, where both wound up being treated.
Oh, my gosh.
Davis was arrested after he was released from the hospital. EMT is alive and kicking, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, not really what you expect to see.
When
I don't
you're trying
think
to save
you're
someone's life,
you're an
or-
EMT going to a call, and
Imagine the driver probably stopped and helped him out.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do in a case like? Do you just like drive faster? Gotta get there.
yeah, I mean, I'm not really.
Or
And
do you stop?
you think
and-
about it, Moravia to Cortland.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like a haul to me.
It is.
Like, that's not a short drive.
No.
Well, it's not a long drive either, I don't think. I'd say it's probably 12 minutes.
Is
Think
it
so?
really?
Yeah.
Seem longer to me. Just
No.
they look further away on a map.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean,
I could be wrong. I just I drove to Cortland last spring through Moravia and back, and
maybe it's faster that way. Yeah.
I don't really know.
down Tollgate Road, and it didn't seem like it was that long. But it depends. I guess Cortland's a big place. You could be going different sides of it.
Long enough to
Yeah.
choke an EMT.
So
Yeah. Yikes.
So we've gotten the bad news out of the way.
What's the
Let's
good
talk,
news,
Let's
John?
talk about the good news. There are some big name concerts that have been
Big.
recently announced here in the Finger Lakes. CMAC, Dave Matthews, June 4th. Idina Menzel, July 15th.
Adele
In
doesn't-
Santana, August 15th. Now, those were just announced yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The
Awesome.
Lakeview Amphitheater has a couple that they just announced
That's
also.
up there in Syracuse. New.
Yep, Zach Brown Band, June 24th. Third Eye Blind, June 30th. That was the one that was announced today. And Foreigner on July 11th. And then, of course, the Vine at Del Lago Resort and Casino. Dustin Lynch, country music sensation,
Yeah.
will be there in Tyre on March 9th. Lots of exciting things going on. And in a Facebook Live session, I believe it was on Monday, Jeff Babinski, GM, said that they were going to be making more announcements on concerts and other
Cool.
musical guests, exciting musical guests in the next couple weeks. So I think they're
As
going to
soon
start
as they
to
can convince them to come to Tyre, New York.
right, right. Which with other big names coming, maybe
Right.
will
That's
get
how it
a
works.
little
It's a
easier.
snowball.
Yeah.
obviously, if you want to see any more on those awesome concerts, fingerlakes1.com. Prices range across the board like any concert typically does.
Right.
$20-$30 all the way up to $100, $120, $130.
Yeah, go click on Life on
Life.
the homepage, and that's where you see those types of stories.
Yeah,
Life, music, festivals.
Great. Awesome. Thanks for that, Josh. We love some good news.
Amen.
To me, they were all good news.
Yeah.
$500 billion for water.
Well, at least
Ambulance
the second
story.
story ended all right, yeah.
I suppose it did, yeah.
Deserved, I guess. Yeah.
A fracas in the back of an ambulance. So.
It's a rough ride to begin with. I really couldn't. I wouldn't want be involved in a scrum in the back of an ambulance.
Have any of you ever taken an ambulance ride?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You
yes.
have? As a patient?
As a ride along with my wife.
Yes, I was
Oh,
right
yeah,
along as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
My son.
I had never been.
I don't recommend it.
No, doesn't
And if
sound
you
like
do not choke the
fun.
EMT.
He's trying to help you.
It's trying to help you.
Do not take note. No choking.
How much room is there in the back of an ambulance?
Enough.
The real
It's
question.
pretty roomy, but
Yeah, it's enough.
yeah.
Less than a paddy wagon. More than a car.
Yeah.
Less than a paddy wagon, more than a car. There you go. And
And a lot more medical equipment.
I like it.
yes. All right. Well, what's going on in sports, Jim?
Sports. It's NFL Conference Championship weekend. The NFC and AFC Conference Championship games, both on Sunday. First one kicks off at 3:05 on Fox, and that's the Green Bay Packers versus the Atlanta Falcons. And then followed by that at 6:40 p.m. on CBS, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. Any predictions? What's the Super Bowl going to be? What is your predictions? I'm going to say Atlanta and New England.
Oh,
Atlanta
Really?
versus New England.
I haven't watched at all. I haven't watched sports. At
Patriots,
all. I haven't
Packers.
watched football at all.
and Brady slays Rodgers and sends him packing, so everyone can stop talking about him being the greatest quarterback on the planet.
Wow.
Get out of here. There's the guy with how many rings? 4 or 5 rings?
You think people are talking about Tom Brady being or Aaron Rodgers being a better quarterback than Tom Brady?
Type in Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback on the planet, and I think ESPN's run like 14
Type that in.
headlines in the last month on that very subject. Ridiculous.
I didn't follow it. Once the Bills every year I'm like, Bills, and then it's, so I just stopped watching. I know it's terrible. It's hard to be a Bills fan. Tell
You should
what.
get
I
invested
used
in
to be a
another
Packers
team.
fan.
No,
Yes.
no. Stay true to your colors.
But I'm sure my dad hopes for the Packers.
Oh,
To
yeah.
the
He's
end.
from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, well, not from, but yeah, they live there.
They live there. They live there.
Um,
That's
they
where
just
they
moved
currently
from-
reside.
They just moved, but yes, they were there for many years.
Other than that, you got Notre Dame hosting Syracuse at noon on Saturday in a game that's on ESPN. And end of this week, high school basketball. Thursday night, South Seneca girls, defending state champs, against the Romulus girls. They're upstart. They were state champs 4 years ago. And they're playing in Romulus, and we're going to be there, fingerlakes1.com. Dave Barnett, Kevin Korzaneski on the call, live from Romulus. And then the very next night, less than 24 hours later, we'll be back in the South End, even deeper in the South End, for the Romulus at South Seneca boys game.
Oh.
And neither one of them have won a state champ in recent history, and both of them are actually struggling to win anything lately. But
So that will be just as interesting.
yeah, it should be a close game, and they're both bitter rivalries. Bitter.
Yes.
They really are. So it's
Yep.
so we're knocking off the whole South End this next 2 days on Finger Lakes One
boy.
Sports, and then we got the Upstate Hoops podcast and the Upstate Orange podcast on Sunday that might be moved to the morning because of these football games. But check the front page of Finger Lakes One for the decision on that by the weekend. And that's all, except for the fact that we got scores and news about sports all weekend long
All that good
at
stuff.
fingerlakes1.com.
Wow.
Great. Thank you, Jim.
Phew.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, weekend events. What do we have coming up this
It's a
weekend?
big weekend.
We're
Huge weekend.
It's been kind of quiet the last couple
I know it,
weekends.
but
since
not this
Christmas.
weekend. There should be some stuff for people to do.
All right.
Speaking of concerts, on Sunday in Ithaca, Marcus King Band. Gotta go.
Oh.
If you like to watch people play the guitar really well, or you like Southern rock with like a soul twist and played by a 20-year-old kid who's phenomenal, Marcus King Band at the Haunt in Ithaca.
Oh, I thought the Haunt closed.
No.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was thinking the Rongovian Embassy.
Yeah, the Rongo's closed. So Marcus King Band is at the Haunt at 8 on Sunday night. Doors open at 8. My tickets are only $12, and this is a national act. These guys are like
$12.
outrageously good. Look them up if you don't know them.
That's great.
Yeah, I would advise anybody who likes that Southern rock flavor or really good guitar players to go and check out the Marcus King Band at the Haunt on Sunday night. Now, the big event of the weekend would be the Woman March in Seneca Falls. That's on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen, it's an opportunity to participate in solidarity with the Women's March on Washington and all the other marches that are going on around the area.
Ours will probably
coincide.
receive national attention.
I imagine it will.
We're working on potentially live streaming that. I don't want to really make an official announcement yet because we got into the game late.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
going to
we're
try and get down there and take pictures.
working out the details. We're covering it either way, no doubt about that. But whether it's a live
Yes.
stream or not, we'll know more over the next
It's going to be a long
24,
event.
36 hours.
It's a very long event. And for people that aren't familiar with the March on Washington, it's like a nonpartisan sort of inclusive
Yep.
rally.
Even though it is kind of partisan.
Well,
you
they're
can say it's nonpartisan.
they're saying it's nonpartisan. And this one here is primarily to express support for women's rights and all human rights in our country.
Who can't get behind that?
Yeah, it's a noble cause, really. Begins at 10 a.m. with an outdoor rally at First Amendment Declaration Park of the Women's Rights National Historical Park, site of the first convention for women's rights held in.
1848.
That's it. Good job, Josh. 1848. Then after that, everybody proceeds to the First Presbyterian Church.
1865, wasn't it?
1848.
No, that's the Civil War.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the Presbyterian Church, and then let's see. Due to an overwhelming response, the afternoon rally will be held outdoors behind the church. Now that's a big deal because there's going to be a lot of people there, so they have to do it outside.
The whole thing is being done outside.
Well, they were going to do the afternoon part inside.
The speakers inside, they're going to have a big, giant screen outside the church for people to see what's going on inside the church.
Right, and the seating inside is limited to people who must be indoors, special needs, that sort of thing.
People that don't like being cold.
Or people
People like a guy with a camera from FingerLakes1.com.
who... Exactly.
That's right.
Let's see. There's a ton of speakers and musical performances, political, what have you.
I heard Flow Ride is good for
He's going to provide the entertainment. Parking is available and free on all streets in Seneca Falls on January 21st and in all municipal lots. That's just a point of note.
This would
Good.
probably be a good time to let anybody who might be watching this from outside of Seneca Falls know that if you plan on coming through Seneca Falls during the late morning to early afternoon,
Yeah.
you might want to try traveling around
Yeah.
Seneca Falls because this is going to seriously hamper traffic.
Yeah, and carpools are strongly
Yeah.
advised.
And another thing to mention is that parking's free this week throughout the city, but it's also free all the time.
all the
So
time.
there's a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
benefit. That,
Insider tip.
Yeah, it's not as really...
Come and experience our free parking, and you may want to come back and experience it again. Let's see. Marchers are reminded to dress warmly and asked to wear white, purple, or gold hats, gloves, scarves to highlight the colors worn by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and activist suffragettes as an instant means of visual recognition for their support of the women's rights movement.
Awesome.
I just planned on dressing in red, white, and blue because there are colors.
It's going to be big. It's going to be bigger than people think.
It is going to be
You're
bigger
going
than
to
people
wake up
think.
Saturday morning and be like, what?
What?
They expect, the last I had heard, and this was a week ago, they were over 3,500 for confirmed people.
Yeah,
Wow.
Coming to
that's
the-
going
I
to be
mean-
well beyond that.
Great.
You know,
That's awesome.
honestly, it'll probably come close to rivaling the number of people we see here for like It's a Wonderful Life weekend.
It may. It
I
may do
mean-
that.
Perhaps.
That's
We'll
great.
know shortly, though.
Yep.
Really, as far as other events are concerned, why bother?
Yeah.
I mean, there is an owl prowl if you want to go to that, but
Who doesn't want to prowl some owls?
Where's that out at Seneca?
it's out at
Meadows
Montezuma
Educational,
at the same
Montezuma?
time as the Women's March, so I would suggest
Ooh, both of them. Wow, what competing events right there. Do you want to march or do you want to see owls?
I prefer women to owls. Personally.
That's exciting. That's
Raise a
going to be a
valid
great
point.
event. I'm looking forward to seeing your footage.
Yeah, I am too.
You got to get your foot in the door.
Looking forward to seeing your suffrage.
Oh, jeez.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
All right, great. So
Yeah.
that's all we have for this weekend. What about our weather, Jim? What's it going to be like for all these people?
You know what?
Coming
It's
into
going to
Seneca
stay
Falls.
warm, relatively warm for January. High temperatures in the upper 40s both days. No rain. It's actually going to get a little sunny on Friday, and then mostly cloudy on Saturday and Sunday, but highs in the upper 40s, overnight lows in the mid 30s. That's not bad for January. Some
No,
rain might move
that's
in
great.
late in the day on Sunday, and then it's going to get a little warmer even on Monday into the low 50s, they're saying right now,
Yeah.
but it's going to probably rain.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
Warm rain's better than cold rain.
yeah,
I'll
it's
take
a
it.
nice little January stretch here
Yeah.
of weather.
That's
A relief from the cold.
There was some-
Unless you like to ice fish.
Yeah, there were some snowshoeing events also that I neglected to add to the
no.
list because snowshoeing this weekend, not really in the
Not
cards.
a good time to do that.
No.
Yeah, so check out the latest local forecast live radar at the local weather center at fingerlakes1.com. And because it is changeable. The forecast is always changeable.
Yes.
You could do some good mud walking,
You could
maybe.
There you go.
enjoy.
You know.
Enjoy yourself.
Snowshoeing, mud walking. Yeah, there you go. Well, we have a few minutes, so my question would be,
Ooh.
did you
Questions.
have a New Year's resolution,
No,
and how's it going so far?
going
Never-
great. We
I
didn't
never
have
have a New Year's resolution. At
No.
least that I announce to people.
Right.
I don't
So you
make
may
it
like
known.
make a mental, like, I'm
Maybe.
going to do this year, or this is
Little
my...
challenge myself, but
Yeah, a
I
little
never tell
goal
anybody, and that
setting.
way when I don't do it, nobody knows.
Silent
Me.
goals.
It doesn't
Yeah.
hold you
I'm the only
accountable.
one who has to live with it and sleep at night.
It doesn't seem to affect you that much, honestly.
I'm good.
No?
Good.
Yeah. It's just, it seems like a dying.
You think so? I
What's
still
the
saw
point?
people on Facebook, like, this weight loss and this and the other things.
Weight loss is probably the number one resolution, right?
Yes.
Sure.
It's gotta be.
Yes, I think so. I've been eating a lot, though.
Well,
Not bad food.
January snacks? You talking about January snacks?
January snacking. This is about the time it starts back up, right? So we had Christmas and all that.
Right, and everybody has the
And
resolution.
everybody's like a week, and
And
they're
then
like,
you're
"Oh, I'm not gonna
good,
eat." And then
yeah.
you realize this is boring around here in the winter, and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
No events to go to.
But yeah, you know what I've been eating lately at night is I will take some club crackers
Yep.
and I will take some peanut butter and jelly and just put it like in a paper bowl
Yeah.
and then scoop with the crackers, almost like it's a salsa.
It's like a dip. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
And I have some cherry jellies and grape jelly and
jelly.
some different types of jams and preserves you can do that with. It's really easy, and you know sometimes that can even take the place of dinner.
Sure.
Oh,
That seems like
wow.
under the radar healthy too.
I don't think it's unhealthy, but there's a lot of sugar in the jelly. But the
Sugar
peanut
and
butter's
jelly.
full of protein, and
Yeah.
I mean,
Protein.
It could be much worse in the
Fatty, though.
snacking world.
but I've been doing that
Could be
quite
worse.
a bit.
Absolutely.
That's the definition of snacking right there.
Yeah.
That is. Because
Well,
it's not,
thanks
you're not committing
for
to a
that.
sandwich.
Yeah, a
you're
little
just-
snack tip. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't have to take the time to spread it on eat
Right.
all the things.
Right.
That's a lot of work.
Snack is just food without the commitment, and that's what you're going for there.
Right. So
Perfect.
there's a little tip for you as we get out of here now.
There's your snack for the week. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of FLX Weekly. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe, like our video, leave us a comment. We love to see what you have to say. Send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com if you'd like to touch base with us here. We'll be back live next Wednesday afternoon at 12:30. Have a wonderful week.
www.fingerlakes1.com
53, 54.
Come on and join the fun. Log on to Finger Lakes One.
306. 6 seconds over. 6 seconds over.
Darn.
Oh well.